Hi guys, I'm back with my short videos on MTB writing and MTB tips. My video basically targets the newcomers generally, new people who want to take up mountain biking. So today I just want to speak regarding this. Okay, so this is one of the most important thing in mountain biking. So when we go for a group ride or any rides, we basically put the hashtag no helmet, no ride. The primary function of a helmet is to basically protect your brain, right? The brain is naturally protected by skull, right? But skull is not enough when you fall with that impact, with the speed, with the gravity that we basically experience. So a helmet is quite necessary for that kind of situation. So now there are three things that you should look into when you basically go and buy a helmet. And I would suggest that when you buy a helmet, you go to the shop and buy the helmet because you need to actually try it on and with the comfort level you need to basically buy it. If you are forced to buy it online because of the current situation we are into, you have to see that you should have the return policy. Okay, because not all helmet will fit exactly the same, right? So see, most of the cases you have this size regulator at the back end, okay, which you can use it to tighten and loosen the helmet on your head. So this is, you look out for this kind of arrangement, right? So helmet, before going to the features of the helmet, let me just quickly take you through the components of the helmet. So the helmet has three layers generally, right? The first layer is called the shell, right? This is made of polycarbonate material, and with high brand, good quality brand, they're also made of with fiberglasses and all those stuff. And our second layer, you have something called the EPS, we call it, or EPP. This expanded poly sterile and polypropylene. Third layer is the comfort padding. You could see the padding, soft padding, which is given on the sides, front, not necessarily on the back side because back side always remains loose. So that's how it's given. So now this comfort padding is antibacterial. You can take it out and wash it and you can put it back again. So that's how we normally do. Um, okay, so these are the features. So now the other characteristic, the three things which I was talking to you about the helmet when you go and buy a helmet. Is the first thing is the coverage. So you should cover. Okay, you should cover your head with the helmet properly in proper way, right? So the front part of the helmet should basically fall somewhere in the middle of your forehead, right? So that's area which should fall, and the back side of the helmet should basically cover or your occipital area of your brain. This side, it should cup. It should cup like this, you know. And the sideways, obviously, the designs. Most of the designs are like this, little curvy in nature because this is for when you wear the goggles. The handle of the goggles has to basically fit in over the ear, so that's how it works. The second thing is a ventilation. See, these are the ventilation you can see front, side, and back side. So we normally count. Okay, so mine is 21 vents helmet. Normally, on an average, it comes in on 14 vents is a good ventilation uh, for a XC for a cross country helmet. Country is one category where you need to do a lot of long distance cycling in different terrain. Okay, so you need a lot of sweating and a lot of invisible fumes that comes out of the head. So you need to cool it down. So this is must required. That is one. And third one is the weight. Okay. Normally, the weight of helmet is at the range of 400 gram to 500 gram. Good branded helmet, with good quality and highly treated EPS and other things. So it might range around 250 to 300 gram. But on an average, 400 gram is okay. So you can check any helmet, the weight will be given in those guidelines. So these are the three important things you should basically check. Now, this layer, the cell, the outer layer, should always go for a molded one. In mold technology, we call it. So it should not be like, you should not buy something like, I'll show you, something like this. See, it's very light. It's almost 1/3 of this weight of this helmet. But the problem here is that you can see here, this is the thermocol they've used. It's not treated. It's not treated for impact. You can actually, put your, you can push inside. It's not treated one. It's just a plastic cover. Does it give you that sign and look? All those stuff. This is how it is. Right now, I'm not advertising any particular brand, but this brand, this particular helmet is around $2,000, and this should be somewhere around, say, 500, 300, 400, 500. Okay, so there's a difference. So please, when you buy a helmet, please take care of the characteristic, the features. It should be molded. You could feel it. The basic idea of putting the polycarbonate or fiberglass is that when there's a direct impact on the helmet, it spreads the force like this. It doesn't go linear. Okay, so it saves your brain. Yeah, so that's how the technology works. So there's another technology called MIPS. Okay, it's multi directional impact system. So that was necessary because whenever we fall, while we're riding, we normally fall in an angle. So in that case, what happens is there's a rotational force which comes into action. Because of that, your brain tends to rotate within the skull, within the head, and that is very critical. I mean, that is very dangerous. So to stop the rotational motion of the brain, the brain can take a direct impact, okay, to that certain level, because you are being protected by the skull and the liquid which is inside your brain, which takes most of the force or impact on your head. But this motion, the rotational motion, there's nothing that the brain can do if you are doing this, right? So sudden jerk or sudden rotational movement. So what the R&D has done is that they have introduced something, one layer, small layer of foam, which is specialized foam, which is between the EPS and the cell, okay, the polycarbonate. So it lies between that. Okay. So how does it function? The moment an angular force acts on this, for example, it goes here. So it goes here. So the foam, which is the layer, started acting in such a way that it moves within the helmet. It moves within the helmet in all directions at the range of around 10 to 15 millimeters in that area. Okay, like this, the whole like this. So because of that, the angular force, the angular impact is being absorbed there, almost like 75% to 80% is absorbed, and the remaining part of the impact is being handled by the brain up to a certain extent. So the severity of any injury is kind of ruled out there. So there is a technology which is used in advanced helmet. They call it the MIPS, MIPS. So I don't think that's required for we guys who basically go for long distance and other things. So that is required for mainly for professional guys who are who fight with gravity all the time, which we don't, right? So that's the thing. So just information. So please consider those features which I just explained when you go for. Don't go for the price, right? Don't go for low cost helmet. It will not serve any purpose. Okay, it will be same as not wearing, right? So please be careful with that. And I suggest that everybody should wear helmet. Now it's rainy season, so everybody should wear helmet.